crisis. So today we're not going to focus on the Republican results in New Hampshire. What we are going to focus on today is the President of the United States in a time of crisis is generally any leader, forget the president, if you're a leader of an organization and it's a time of crisis, where should you be? Available, present, except Joe Biden. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Rant Network. I'm David Solomon. He is Stuart Brisgell dealing with his internet issues. So if he glitches, hey, what can I tell you? We dive generally into raw and unfiltered issues spanning news, pop culture, politics, and we go even sometimes beyond that. We are always dissecting today's absurdities, delving into society's deep-seated issues, and asking the questions that people want to ask and are sometimes afraid to. So we keep it real here at the Rant Network. So sit back and enjoy today's rant. Now, Stuart, I started about talking about leadership qualities. And it's amazing whether you're talking about corporations or countries. Whenever there's a crisis, people are looking for guidance, leadership, and you want and expect your leader. See, I don't have a good leader. I have a terrible prime minister that people are always wondering about him. Your president's approval rating is in the toilet, but at least in the time of crisis, he should be more present. But somehow, the only person seemingly present, oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this, is Vice President Kamala Harris. Is she going to be the next president, Stuart? Oh God, help us.
Oh boy. Well, let's first dive into it. You are correct from the sense there's plane, trains, horseback. There's been a president in the United States that was president and accounted for. But we also never had a president that was literally unheard of and unseen of. President Joe Biden. Sorry for the little phone interruption. Didn't do what I needed to do today. And that is mute the phone. There we go. So, when the president of the United States used to go and want to get America to vote for him, even when they believed they were a shoo-in for a second term, you would constantly have the president out in the country, in the world. During World War II, World War I, presidents have been front row center. When there's a major conflict anywhere in the world, the president was front row center. But Joe Biden's got his own new world order and his own version of what a republic should be. The republic of Joe Biden is, I get to go to the islands, I get to go to my country houses, I get to avoid questions, I get to avoid debate. You know, if the incumbent President Donald J. Trump goes against Joe Biden, I'm going to guarantee you that Joe Biden isn't going to debate the United States of America. He isn't. And Kamala Harris is going to be the laughing chimpanzee to debate whichever vice president candidate will come to pass.
Folks, let's be careful here. I know that Stuart used the word chimpanzee, so before you go throwing racist epitaphs at him.
Oh, no, she's a laughing hyena. No. She's a laughing hyena. Right? I mean, she laughs like an animal. Like if you've played her reels, David, I'm telling you, you have the best TikToks with Kamala Harris. But who is running for president of the United States? Is it the governor of California, Newsom? Is it Vice President Kamala Harris? Or is it Sleepy Joe? I'm confused. I don't know who is running for president of the United States for the Democratic Party. David?
You know, Stuart, here's my take on this, and this is what I see it from afar, is you're in trouble. Since October the 7th, Joe Biden has tried to lead. I get it. I get what he's been trying to do. This is not something you'd get trained for, and you're surrounded by a good team, hopefully, who helps you through it. And he hasn't had it. He has not had a good team. Apparently, the word is that him and his VP don't get along that well. They've tried to keep her under wraps. We've heard a lot of things. But since October the 7th, Joe Biden, yeah, he flew to Israel. He did the right thing at the time. And then he flip flopped. And I compared him to Justin Trudeau, and I'll get to him in just a second. But again, flip flopping, trying to stay in the middle, not to upset a voter base, not to upset his party. That's not leading. That's being chicken. And that's been something I've been calling Joe Biden now. Now, I did appreciate, and I still do appreciate Joe Biden standing behind the state of Israel in her attempt to defend herself, continuously, defending her and other things. It's great. You see what he does in Ukraine. Fine. But when it comes to the border of the United States, and he stands there and says, "I will refuse to secure the U.S. border until you give me money for Ukraine," there's a question of what are you doing? Okay, when you talk there and you consistently rip MAGA, that's it, MAGA. All you hear is MAGA. You are afraid of MAGA. MAGA, 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 MAGA. All that they throw out there. That's Joe. That's Joe's idea. Okay. I mean, this isn't leadership. This is leading from the tail, where you're just hiding behind everybody. I'll take it a step further. Bidenomics. That was the deal, right, Stuart? Everybody was talking about Bidenomics. Karine Jean-Pierre. Bidenomics is the greatest thing. It's the greatest economy. We've done so well. Crap. Leading from behind. Kamala Harris was on The View. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, yes.
Her word salad that came out of her mouth was unbelievable. Her statements are scripted. Okay, listen again and again and again. Same phrases, same statements, same thing. She says nothing. It is frightening. But here we are in 2024, and we're on the 24th day of 2024. And where is Joe? He refuses to run in New Hampshire, as we saw on Tuesday, because it wasn't part of the DNC script. Where was he? So he tells everybody, "Oh, I wasn't put on the ballot. Put me on the ballot. Write me in." What? There's a question about what's going on. Who's leading?
David, that's because the DC wanted to shift the primary, and New Hampshire didn't agree. I mean, that's a little more
No,
technical.
but again, in this so-called republic of yours, where every state has its own rules and whatever, the DNC wants, the DNC gets. Okay, if you want New Hampshire to comply, then okay, but they didn't comply, and Joe said no. So what did you say? He doesn't do interviews, he doesn't debate, he doesn't take questions in press conferences. He needs to be held by Dr. Jill to get off the stage because he can't figure out how to get off the stage.
Which way to
There
go?
are issues here. There are serious issues here. And I'm scared that this is going to be. I mean, listen, I'm petrified of a Donald Trump presidency, but Joe Biden running again. How is he going to run? Where's he going to run? Because if not, you're right. It's either Newsom, it could be somebody else, it could be Kamala. I don't know. This, to me, if this is leadership, Stuart, I'm scared.
David, I feel your pain, and I don't disagree. There is no leadership with the Democratic Party. The handlers are doing a lot of finger touching, and I don't quite know where it's going to end, to be honest with you, because there is no end. This president is an absentee president. He is in denial. He is senility. There's every single issue with President Biden that I've ever seen before. You know what? It's not just the issues of him allowing his handlers to weaponize all branches of the government against his running mates. And that is not just limited to Donald Trump. They are starting to meander around the no-name party, the candidates for the no-name party. They're not alone. No labels, no names, no labels. At the end of the day, the DNC doesn't want anyone to run against Joe Biden, because I think at this point, the world will agree anyone, I think, is going to beat him. I don't understand when you have a president who, you know what, served the country 40 years, never voted a single time on the right issue the right way, which is just a matter of record. But he still served the country. He still served the
Look,
people.
I'm no Democrat.
Maybe he served.
I'm no Democrat, and I'm not going to hear it. Just
maybe he served.
I'm no. Yeah, listen, I'm not a Democrat, and I will never claim to be a Democrat. But I know that he's done some. He is not great, but in finally in reading a little bit more about his background, Joe Biden behind the scenes was actually a different person than he was in the front of the scenes. He was a better ally, better this. But as a Democrat, outside it's a different perception. But here's my thing, and I talked about Trudeau a second ago. Justin Trudeau is the exact example of what I mean by terrible leadership, and Joe Biden has almost taken a page out of Trudeau's book. Trudeau, when he came to the Freedom Convoy, which, by the way, was our most listened to rant, he threatened them. He did the same thing like Joe. He called them, he MAGA-atized them, for lack of a better term, and he discredited them. The media ran with it, and that was it. But he hid. He disappeared. But when it comes to critical issues, economy, when it comes up to critical issues like foreign affairs, whatever, he disappears. He flip-flops. Okay? He's going to get a pay raise. He's going to get a pay raise, an automatic pay raise, because in our government, that's how it works. It's not like your government. Our government, automatic. And there is no guidance, no leadership. And Joe must be looking at Justin going, you got it good. Because nobody can threaten you there. Nobody can dethrone you. You don't have somebody do the same thing. I'll just disappear. I won't do anything. This is wonderful. I think that this is a guy who's looking for a senior's residence. I think this guy needs to go to retirement. It's enough is enough. You're going to be, Stuart, if he actually makes it to the end of a second term, he'll be 86. Now, I'm sorry. I know some 86-year-olds. My father's going to be 85, God willing. Really good, sharp guy. But you're taking a serious risk when it comes up to a person of that age having to make those critical decisions. He can make them now. He's like, I call him one of Jim Henson's Muppets. Someone in the background is like playing around with the wires. So what's it going to be for the next 4 years? It's not a good prospect. I don't care about policies. I don't care about, Democrat versus Republican. I still think that Trump is also at an age where I don't want to see him running the country either, for a variety of reasons. But Joe Biden, folks, doesn't look right. And if he's disappearing now, what's he going to do in the next 4 years?
So, when you say he doesn't look right, I agree totally. The fact of the matter is, when you stare into Joe Biden's teleprompter eyes, he looks like a deer in headlights. There's no lights on in Joe Biden's head. I'm sorry. I've seen.
Well, I got to tell you something. I agree with you, but I want to tell you something, and I applaud the Democratic Party for this. And you're going to say, David, where are you going with this?
Where are you going with this?
They rally around him, though.
What?
They rally around him, though, Stuart. They will lie and elevate and just create a myth of the Joe Biden myth of how great he is. He's got strength, he's got energy, he's got vigor. Apparently, he swears like a drunken sailor, but he is still like they're all rallying around him, not like the Republicans. That I give credit to the Democratic Party. But if I'm in the DNC right now, I'm asking myself, 4 more years of Joe? Really? Anyway, Stuart, last word to you, my friend.
Last word is, let it be, let it be, let it be. Onwards, upwards to the next primary, guys. Should be interesting.
Thanks, Paul McCartney, for Let It Be. Oh, boy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us for a Wednesday edition of The Rant Network. We trust you found something in today's dialogue, and you're thinking long and hard, do I want this old guy or that old guy to run the country. God help you. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern, we are here live. And as you saw today, unedited, unfiltered. We don't go back and change anything. What you hear, what you see is what you get. And so enjoy it. Please watch us on YouTube. Comment, please. We love those comments. Same thing on all the social media, all the other podcasts. We are everywhere. We want to hear your perspectives. So please share your feedback. And until Friday, where I'll be all alone.
Yep, leaving you
again.
again.
Right. Leaving me again. Keep those conversations